you for taking the time to visit with us. Abel Hammer Company is one of the premier companies in the world. You deliver products, hammers, all across the world. What is the situation in the piano market from your perspective this year?
Well, this year we see a lot of changes in the piano business, especially some of the German manufacturers are bought by Chinese companies, and I fear that the future will have more of these buyouts, and for my personal opinion, I see a lot of changes in the piano business in the next few years, especially with the political background. I am not very optimistic for the near future, especially in China.
Now, you said China. We're all hoping on China. China is currently absorbing 300,000 units a year.
Yeah.
Compare that to today, United States, the North American market with 30,000 units, a tenth of that. Europe is, I think, even slightly less, maybe 25,000 units. So China is consuming the most part, almost 80% of the piano market. And you are concerned that that will slow down politically?
Yes, because I heard that the economy is pushed by the government. They pump a lot of money into the market, and they can do it for a certain time, but I think they cannot do it forever. So it can be that they will have a bubble and that the bubble will explode. So that's my concern about the next 2 or 3 years.
Now, you have a secret plan, I know. Well, you haven't told me, but I know that you are servicing significantly restoration pianos or producing hammers for restorations and for technicians. Is that right?
Yeah, so the restoration business is for us a much more safe business because we have much more different customers in this business instead of only a few customers on the manufacturer side.
So the risk is spread out over a bigger amount of customers.
Spread on more shoulders, yes.
So going back to manufacturing in China, because this was the topic, many customers have a concern that when they buy a Chinese piano, the piano is not good. What is your response to that?
Well, I also heard about this, but I think the Chinese manufacturers improved their pianos a lot in the last years, especially the big companies like Hailun, and they made a lot of steps in the right direction.
So do you think that the purchasing a Chinese-made instrument is a risk for a customer, or can he be relatively safe in purchasing an instrument, in investing in one of those?
It also has to do with the local service. So if the piano is sold through a good dealer and they have a good technician, then I think it's a good deal to buy a Chinese piano, because the quality of a Chinese piano is not bad. If the service is good, finally you have a good piano.
I want to switch to the world's oldest piano company, one of the most prestigious ones, Sauter. You are a supplier to Sauter pianos, which has been in Speichern since 1819, a collaboration which is very dear. Very happy about that.
Yes.
How do you see the German manufacturing landscape evolving?
Well, especially Sauter, I think, is a very solid company because it's a small company, it's a family-run company, so the reputation for Sauter is very good, and I think they have a good chance to survive in this changing world, in this changing market.
And other companies in Germany have been recently undergone changes in ownership.
Yes.
What do you think about these changes? Are those positive for the German manufacturing landscape, or do you see risks, or has it eroded the Made in Germany label?
Well, at the moment it's a little bit too early to say that it's a risk or whether it's positive, because I did not receive enough information about this deal from the economical side, from the money side, it's maybe it was the last chance for them to survive. Whether it has an influence on technical improvements, we have to see. But I think it's a good thing to open markets like China for the German companies, because then they have more dealers, and maybe this is a good chance for them to make good business in the future.
Last question. Abel Hammers Company. Any special projects, any big news that you're working on that we should be aware of, maybe that are semi-secret, we can get a small peek into?
Well, you know that the piano business is a very conservative business, so changes are not very often. The last big change what we made is the development of the natural felt. It came as a result from the Biofeld project, which was sponsored by the European Community, and this project was from 2003 to 2006. So the natural felt, as a result, brought us a lot of positive business and a lot of improvements in developing a new felt.
Great, awesome. Well, we love it. We're using it in several products. We can find it in many products, as a matter of fact, today. It's become one of a very well-established felts.
Yes.
In the United States, where can one find your products?
Well, we are working on the technical level. We are working with a few supply houses, and especially the company Brooks Limited is our biggest supplier here. And of course we also work with the local manufacturers, and yes, so also with Chinese companies and German companies who sell their pianos here in this market.
Awesome. Norbert, thank you so much.
You're welcome.